right, so I'm recording, by the way. I don't know if I told you.
Oh, awesome. Now I know.
So
we're doing
let me ask you, no, that's how I do it. So let me ask you, as a whole, about the weekly update, or this being formally the first weekly update. How do you feel about it?
I think it tells like a lot. It's kind of like a teaser, but it's kind of giving you like a good picture of what they're going to be delivering. So I like it. I think it looks very clean, and they're giving you like a little bit of information in all categories, sort of. But it is more like a teaser than an actual update, a full update. But
yeah, that's my thing on it, man. Like, I don't know if I would, if I were them, I wouldn't call this a weekly update if they're gonna do stuff like this.
Yeah.
I would just say weekly news, because I feel like that's just maybe a little bit more appropriate. Because like this whole thing is about like the heads-up display mainly, right? At least, you know, the first half of it. So they're like, okay, we show you the new aspect screen. Looks kind of cool, you know?
I do like that, yeah.
Then they show us the health bars. That looks kind of dope too. And then on top of that, they show us the ability notifications.
Yeah, that's big.
like it's super cool. And like they also show like the enemy tower destroyer pop-up, like really nice things with the heads-up display, like animations and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like, I'm super torn, because here's my thing. We saw a heads-up display animation 4 months ago?
That's true, yeah. There was a little giveaway teaser.
You feel
there.
me? Like when they showed that one little piece, like, whoa, it looks dope. And I don't know, like, I'm kind of scarred. Like, I don't want to be too critical about it, you know? Like, but
yeah.
But I'm over here like, so you're showing me this tiny little piece. Whoop-de-doo.
And kind of too much of a tease.
Yeah, like at this point.
At this point, I guess maybe people have been waiting too long that they kind of don't care anymore. I don't know what the community consensus is, but yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it looks clean, and I'm patiently waiting, but I know a lot of people have been patiently waiting that kind of dropped off.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure people are still like waiting for it. And it's not like there's anything bad with any of these animations, because they look really good.
They do, yeah.
But my thing is, by this point in time, especially like I didn't like the fact that it's called an update. Like I was saying, like, I guess we're being updated on how some of the stuff may look, even though they say everything seen in this image may change before final implementation. Whoa, I just made up a word. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, to me, I'm genuinely just struggling to be like excited for the news.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I get that.
Like, I much rather would have preferred them just be quiet another 2-3 weeks and then release the heads-up display. Or
yeah,
like,
I get that.
or like,
at the same time, I don't think they can, like, just every day people are asking for, like, you know, when is this happening? What does it look like? Give us something. Like, they couldn't wait that much longer without some sort of update, even if it's a small thing. So I think they were like peer pressured, sort of. The community's asking for this for a while now.
I mean, I can see it, but it's just like, I know we briefly touched on this the first time that we talked about it. Like, it's an update on the update. Mm-hmm. Like they mentioned, we're gonna release a whole new update for patch 0.13.0, and it's a lot more than just the heads-up display, but we're gonna tease a little bit to you. So I'm just over here like, why didn't you just give us the 0.13.0 update? It's not like you're implementing it.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too is, like, it seems like they're pretty much like, they got like everything almost done. Like, they could have given us pretty much what it will actually look like, I feel. Because if they're done all this, it should be kind of finished by now. I think like releasing what the HUD will look like instead of this update might have been a better choice, but
just like a general picture. just to let
Yeah,
people
just
see
like,
like, hey,
just an overall, like,
this
this
is
is what this, like, when you're standing in base, this is what the game will look like. That's what we need.
they probably
Or
could do
in
that.
a team fight.
Yeah, they probably could do that, but they probably don't want to give too much, because I can see that side too. They're trying to tease without revealing everything, but I don't know, like, as far as the independent animations go, again, looks cool, I'm okay with it. I don't know why, and I would love for somebody to let me know in the comments, like, what is it about these images that just makes me go, eh. I don't think it's the quality of work. I think they look good. I think it's going to be a nice change.
They're like separated from the game is the main issue, so we're not getting an idea of what the overall picture will look like, because these are just like kind of animations in a gray screen, and we don't see them all working together. Like I said, if we were shown what a team fight looks like with all this, like the new health bar and the new everything, the cooldown animations, then I think that would be stronger than just like still images on a gray screen. But
that's true. Even no, I get you. Even if they showed us like a little cropped out area of the screen where these animations are just actively working,
yeah,
I think would definitely, you know, come across a little bit better. It's just,
they do look clean though. I mean, I think looks, and like the fact that they're making a new skin, like a unique in-house made skin, not from Epic assets, is kind of big. So I'm excited for that, especially for Sevarog, because he's definitely lacking in the skin department.
I gotta say, I have had a chance to view the skin fully, like the entire thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Lucky.
It is dope as shit. Yeah. I gotta say, I don't even like Seb. But the skin's dope as fuck. It really is.
He's got I like Sev because he can showcase skins with the pads. Like he can showcase some pretty cool skin concepts with like
different designs and stuff. Yeah,
the skin. Yeah, it's something just kind of unique in the game.
Now, I'll be real, like, and this is where I'll kind of flip the coin a little bit on the heads up display. I honestly wish they would have shown more, but on this teaser skin picture, I really wish they would have shown less.
Shown less.
Yeah, like whenever they released the whole gadget teaser, the picture that was like upside down, and it was like, yeah. is it crunch? Is it gadget? You know what I mean? So that was a little bit better. Here, bro, if you look at this and you can see all the cloth hanging down, you see the black and the green, you see what looks like shoulder pads, and you just like,
they look like bones, like teeth bones, but yeah, you can't really tell what the upper part looks like.
It does just look like almost like the top half of a bottom half or whatever the hell of a jaw, just from this angle.
Yeah.
But I honestly wish they would have just shown a little bit less. Like even if they showed just like a little corner, or like even like the top right corner only, a little bit of the teeth looking things, a little bit of that shoulder pad armor, where it's like, wait a minute, that's an armor plate, but whose armor plate is it? You know what I mean? Yeah. So right there, I'm like, yeah, like, why did you show so much? Like, this is, you, like, I can look at this and it's either 100% of Sevarog skin, or I just got fucking played like nobody's business. You know what I mean?
It's definitely Kalari, dude.
Yeah, it's gotta be low key.
It's gotta be Kalari.
Low key. You don't see the dreads? Easy. Metal chains are the dreads. That's it. Even though, could you imagine? But I like the fact that they're actually going into the skin creations, actually. Like,
yeah, I do too.
We've seen them dabble a little bit, and for like the season pass that they did, they brought a couple of unique skins. For example, that Murdock skin with like the unique helmet and stuff like that.
Oh, they've done like the, I guess we would call them like color overlays, like Gadget's purpley kind of looking skin. That's completely there.
That Poseidon looking skin, design. Atlantis or whatever. Yeah.
That one's really cool looking. And then there's the Appetite Richter skin, which is completely unique to Fault. So like they do the cover overlay skins, but
which one's the Appetite?
Adding, Appetite was the bright, like freezy looking one.
Oh, the Frozone skin. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm never calling that the Appetite skin.
I know.
Never.
Okay, wait. When it came out, actually, I was like, "Hey, you guys misspelt the word appetite," and they're like, "No, it's a type of stone." And I'm like, "Oh,
right?"
dumb,
And you're like, no, nobody's gonna know that. I'm not a geologist
I
up in
didn't
these
know
streets.
that.
Be like, stay with the get out of here.
I've seen Steven Universe, so I thought I knew everything about gems, but nope."
Nah, so I do like the fact that they're going into it, right? I'm worried because one of the things that I brought up in one of my old videos is the fact that they hella spoiled us. You know what I mean? Like giving us two new heroes every 2 months, map or redesigns like Halloween, Christmas, etc. New skins every little bit. Now they're planning on showing us a Sevarog skin, but and be mindful, we're already in March. Like they're planning on showing us a Sevarog skin, but are they not going to give us another skin for another 3 months? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems like they've made a point in saying like the content will be trickling out a lot slower.
Gonna be on the back burner.
Yeah, the back end, like the actual game, is going to be the main focus. So,
which I get, and I'm 100% for, you know, because like they originally wanted the game to come out on full release for the first quarter of 2021, and here we are finishing up the first quarter of 2021. But I'm 100% down for finishing the game. I'm just very, very worried because if that is the focus, releasing a skin again is going to come down to the whole spoiling side. And it's like, hey, you just gave us a skin in another 2-3 months. Are you not going to drop a skin? Then they're going to get a lot of requests, like you were saying, kind of bullied a little bit into showing more, giving more,
pressured sort of into like releasing content and giving us updates.
So I honestly don't know if it's smart to release a skin, you know?
Well, I feel like most people know that like the people that are working on skins, I don't know if SMS is the same way, but the people that work on skins are different than the people that are working on the actual game and balancing and all that. But because SMS is a small game studio, that might not be the case. So they kind of have to pick and choose. Do they want to focus on like pushing the game out, like the core of it, or do they want more like unique content like skins and new heroes and stuff like that? Which new heroes is huge.
You know what? You brought up a good point. Like, do we know the size of SMS actually? Because I know they added a few people a while back. I don't know if they're like 8, 12.
I think
7.
the full like employee list is on the website. I could be wrong about that, but I believe it is.
I'm gonna look that up while we talk here. But the reason why I was asking is because at the end of the day, you brought up a very good point that it honestly might come down to, like, I know they have, for example, they have a 3D modeler that they hired, right? And he could be in charge of the creating of the skins or maybe just general characters. They have a guy focusing on landscape.
Texture.
Yeah, like the guy that focusing on landscapes, and you know, he's more of a professional on probably optimization as well as visual quality and stuff like that. But my, how do I say this? My worry is the fact that, like, if we're looking, let's say there is just only one guy that works on the actual creation of the models, the skins, all that creative factor and stuff like that, what is his workaround time? If he is doing this full time or if he is only doing it part time, you feel me?
Right.
Like, if he's the one, if he's a dedicated guy, is that the reason why we're only gonna get a skin once every 3 months now? Because there's only one guy working? You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I mean, I do think most of the team is a volunteer, kind of part-time, like they have actual jobs beyond this. But yeah, I think the team that they have, I'm not sure who's in charge of skins, or if it is just one person, then yeah, I would assume that would take them a while to push out kind of unique skins that aren't using assets. And it's a lot of work too, doing that without any sort of, without any previous assets to use. But
Did you see that they actually have like a careers page in their website, like for hiring and all that? They actually implemented it.
I did see that. Yeah.
So they're hiring for concept artist and environment, level designer, gameplay programmer, and then character rigger and technical animator.
That's a good sign, though, that they're looking to hire professionals to join the team. Because like the more bodies that you get, the faster that content will come out. So it's always a good sign.
No, for sure. Now, now that we kind of hit the subject a little bit, I'm a little bit worried about the actual flow of not just content but progression. Like, they haven't been doing a bad job thus far, right? But like you mentioned, it's very possible that one person might have been doing a little bit of 3 different fields, you know? So is there a chance that now they're adding more personnel, they're giving more responsibility to one individual? How much can one individual really handle? Will that actually be more of a hindrance than a benefit? Like, yeah, you have one guy isn't doing 3 things anymore, one guy's only doing 1, but now one guy has more workload from each independent area, more expectations, so to speak, also. And will that actually result in a better, not only work environment, but better result for us as a community? Now, let me actually ask you, do you know what the Ubisoft Indie series is?
Yeah, I was following that. Is that SMS entered it for indie games game of the year, I think?
Yeah.
And they're in the finals, right?
Yeah, so it's weird. So imagine they host their own indie game awards, basically.
Yeah.
And they got several different titles and, you know, like things that they actually give out and stuff like that. But essentially, from what I was reading, I want to say there are different prize pools per independent, you know, like criteria that you go into. And I want to say it's a maximum, like a grand prize of, like, look, there's one that says grand prize of $50,000. And then there's a national bank special prize of $25,000.
That's huge.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that they're in the contest for the money, because they already had like an open crowdfunding, you know what I mean, and raised over $100,000. So I think they're mainly looking for the notoriety, right?
Yeah, I think it's for exposure and just to see like the game's title kind of on several different, I guess, contests and stuff is a good thing.
It'd be good marketing. You imagine now news outlets everywhere. Yeah, news outlets everywhere are now going to be like, hey, you know, Strange Matter Studios won this. They're working on this game. You know, it's going to be almost like unofficially best up and coming indie game type of award, at least by Ubisoft standards. So
yeah, like I said, it's kind of like free marketing. Like you said, they could be in, I don't know, small magazines, or I believe that, are they streaming that on Twitch, like the actual awards? Or
I want to say they are. I'll try and put the link down below.
So that's kind of big too, because Ubisoft is huge, so there's going to be lots of people watching that. So when they see like Fault show up, if they see gameplay or stuff, that could kind of have an influx of people interested in the game. Like, what is this?
Now, you know what's something that I found it very interesting too? There is a criteria as far as the application process. Not everybody can apply, but it says independent studios, no more than 50 employees that are located in Ontario, Canada, and also studios located in Quebec are also eligible.
Yeah, and SMS is,
so it is
mostly from Quebec, I believe.
So it is like that makes it feel almost more like a niche competition right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like they're supporting their local developers within the area. But I gotta say,
I think that's what they're, because Ubisoft is, I believe, from Montreal. Could be wrong. So I think they're just trying to, I guess, gas up Canadian developers like themselves.
It's going to be very good advertisement, regardless. Even if they don't win and they're second, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's going to be huge. But could you imagine if they do win, and now Ubisoft takes a look at Strange Matter Studios, and now Ubisoft is like, hey, you piqued our interest. We're going to keep an eye on you. And who knows? What if that opens up a future partnership for Ubisoft? You know what I mean?
That would be huge. Yeah,
that would be huge. Like similar to how Netmarble just acquired Overprime. Right. Similar to how they just did that. What if Ubisoft looks at this and say, hey, this is an indie game that we want to financially back. We're going to acquire you guys, or even if they don't acquire, even if they just say, hey, we're financially backing you, but here's the catch. Put it on the Ubisoft store. That.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know.
They had that.
Yeah, I don't know, but they definitely have a lot of swinging potential whenever it comes down to it. So I don't know what that means for the future, whether it's just a simple marketing strategy, a couple of more dollars coming in to fund the project, hiring other people, etc., or whether it might lead to bigger things because they're kind of gonna get a little bit in a better position with Ubisoft.
I think, yeah, it puts their foot in the door, I guess, in the overall industry. Because once you start catching the attention of like bigger game studios, then I think that's really good for your game studio. Even if you're like a really small studio, if you are on any list with like Ubisoft or other big studios like that, then that's always a good start.
Hell yeah.
For you.
Hell yeah, because think about it, like even if you're associated, like in some way, shape, or form, that could potentially open up a million other doors. And not just that, who knows? Maybe if it's just to the side of, what if it opens up doors like you were chatting with Ubisoft, you just happen to mention, hey, we need a game level designer. I don't know where the person you're chatting with that has hundreds of connections says, hey, I know this guy's on the market. He's right up your alley. I'm gonna put you guys in touch. You know what I mean? Like even connections like that, opportunities are fucking huge. So I think out of this whole update, my favorite part, low key, is the Ubisoft indie series.
Yeah, I was paying attention to that. It's a good thing for sure. I liked that they keep their eyes out for these kind of like exposure opportunities. So yeah, I liked when I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, okay, that's really smart. That's a smart move for them to enter that.
Now, did you see that they mentioned towards the end of it, towards the conclusion here, they say we have a lot in store for our community after patch 0.13 hits the game, including next set of Twitch drops, contests to win merch, community events, and more.
Yes, that's huge. The Twitch drops around New Year's were like really big, like the Christmas time.
That was actually really cool.
That was huge, and I enjoyed doing it, and I think the community really enjoyed being part of that. So more of that would be awesome.
Now, do you think they should do that on a more frequent basis? Because here's the thing. Let me bring up to you two different points, and you tell me which one you prefer and why. Because there's one side that may say, hey, if we do maybe one of these Twitch drop events once every 3 months, or maybe during holidays, special events, Valentine's, beginning of summer, etc., we can keep it more exclusive and do more, provide more.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of games that do consistent drops, maybe like the first week of every month, for example, just to try and keep the concurrent activeness within their Twitch.
Right.
But then they do less. You know what I mean? Or they give less. Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's better to just stick to holidays, like you said, like special events, sort of maybe 4 or 5 times a year, do like these big Twitch drops for, I don't know, a week or so, and maybe give out like some exclusive, like Valentine's Day skins could be really easily done, just like pink skins with hearts or stuff like that.
Like overlays, kind of like the before Paragon ones.
Or like Smite does some cool things when there's Summer Olympics going on. They'll do some Summer Olympics style giveaways, like avatars or whatever. So stuff like that, yeah, just for like big events that like people are watching or part of. If you want to bring those events into the game to kind of get people hyped up about them, but
I mean, yes, and I want them to. But that just like, you know, like even seeing this, the whole Twitch drops contest to win merch, community events, and more. I'm wondering how much in relation to actual new content that's going to be. Or are all these events and Twitch drops, are they only going to give matter? I know they had, you know, they've dealt with the whole giving away merch gear in the past. Like they don't necessarily sell it, but they've done giveaways and stuff to giving away strange matter gear. So is that like is that really all that it's going to come down to? Because they say contest to win merch, Twitch drop. So what's it going to be? Matter giving away maybe a hat or two a month? Like, is that really going to be enough to retain a community and Twitch community? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like without new content?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess like skins and being able to play heroes is huge for new players too. So giving away skins is always like easy and just like a big, I don't know, draw for Twitch drops. The matter thing, yeah, I mean, if you already have like the hero pack and everything, is not much to spend matter on. So just straight up giving away skins or giving away avatars that you would be spending matter on, I think it's better. But
you know what would be cool? What if they, like, let's say for example, that skin that we just saw. What if they make event specific skins that are then not available in the store? Follow
like
me here.
Exclusive, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That pisses people off in some games though. It's like,
I mean,
you miss your opportunity and then you can't have that skin. And it seems
you should have participated, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
By doing a skin like that that's event based, it encourages people to participate in the event. You're salty you didn't get a skin, you salty you didn't participate, well, participate in the next one. Help out in the Twitch directory with views. Do what you got to do. Help the community. You can't be salty you didn't get a skin if you didn't provide anything for the community.
Right. Yeah, exclusive skins are like, they're good for like clout, I guess, for people that are involved in the game very often. But for new players that are just joining the game, if they see all these exclusive skins that they didn't even have the game when they were released, they're kind of like, oh, well, I wanted that, you know, and I like the game now, I just didn't have it before. But if they maybe do exclusive skins that they revisit maybe like once a year, that could be a good idea too.
Yeah, but then that loses the exclusivity. Like, for example, you remember when they had the Christmas skins? You can only get them in Christmas. Everybody was like, oh, that's dope. And then they're like, and you can buy the entire Christmas pack for $30 or $20 or whatever. And it was just like, what was the whole point of me grinding all those hours? I'm just gonna wait and spend my money, bro. I'm like, I'd rather throw $25 than waste 8 hours. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like,
well, some people just don't want to spend money on a free game. So for them to have an option to not drop money on a pack, it's good for most people.
To be able to support and get something for free, like, it helps out content creators, it helps out the community, the game, etc. Now, if that thought were to even be considered, they need to make sure that they do that on a consistent basis. Every event have a skin, as like, for example, the final tier that you unlock is a skin. And that way, even if new players can't get the old skins from an event 2 years ago, for example, they're still going to be able to get the event skin from this event. And then when a new player joins 3 months later, they're like, how'd you get that skin? It was a special event. You had to be there. You should be in the next event. It's a growing thing. Like, a lot of games do it.
Instead of skins too, they could do exclusive avatars, which are a little less like important, but also like you can show I don't know if the avatar says 2020 on it somewhere, like the date. Oh, I was playing this game back in 2020. Now it's like whatever 2025. So there's some clout you can.
Yeah, that would be a cool one.
Or just like any exclusive avatars that you can only get in a certain like promotional event. That's a good way to not exclude people from skins that they might want, but still give like kind of something show off to the founding community, basically.
Great idea. But Strange Matters, if you're listening, please make it better than the Season 0 Season Pass avatar.
Oh yeah.
Because
I know when I got the game, I'm like, what is this supposed to be? I don't get it.
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like a carving on a wall.
Yeah.
I think. But you get me, like even that, I'm like, like if it was like, I don't know what theme that we're going for, but it was like if it was like Mayan theme, for example, or like ancient theme, like low key give me an avatar of like some random pyramid in the middle of the jungle covered in vines. You feel me? So then when people see it, it's like, that's a dope ass avatar. Where'd you get that? You had to be there, bro. Sorry. But you feel me? Like if I put the Season 0 Pass avatar right now, people are gonna be like, I like my Bellico one better. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm glad I didn't pay for that. You feel me? And it's just like, that's not the way it should be. Throw in a little sugar, spice, and everything nice when it comes to all this shit. Like, I don't know. Like, they definitely have a lot of potential, especially with like, you know, like Twitch drops and stuff like that. They were very smart when they did it over the Christmas event. Like what was it, like every 2 hours you would get a new reward, I think is what it was.
Yeah, it was tier based, so you would get this, and then if you reach the next tier, you would get something better, and then eventually. And the best part of it was you didn't have to just tune into one partner. It could be like all the partners.
Any partner.
It didn't matter, yeah.
And it gave partners more of an incentive too. To want to broadcast longer times and more frequently. Like during that event, you saw more partners more frequently for longer periods of time. Like people would legit like come into streams and be like, hey, how long are you gonna be streaming? You gonna be here for a bit? Because I'm just gonna leave the lurk on you all day and be like, I'm gonna be like 6 hours, bro. It's like, bet, that's like 3 rewards. I appreciate you. And then like even
sorry,
go ahead.
I definitely maybe like reach a wall at like 4 or 5 hours streaming, but during the Twitch drops I was streaming like 7-8 hours just because I'm like, I need to get these drops for people. I would check and see if any other partner's streaming. I'm like, no one's streaming right now, I need to stay on, you know. It was just good incentive for sure.
Yeah, it's good for the community. You get what I'm saying? Like if a partner has more incentive to stream, play the game, etc., that's a good thing for the community too. The longer a partner is on, it's good for the community for engagement. It's good for knowledge. Partners are oftentimes more knowledgeable than other streamers, especially about things that are coming up. So we're a good source of information to ask questions to. And I like, that's why I'm like, part of me wants them to do drops and stuff like that more frequently, so you can see more engagement. Like, get me?
Yeah.
But I also understand the whole
like a little bit of insight into the development of like what's going on with people that are actually streaming is kind of what people are looking for right now in sort of an early access game. So yeah, if partners are given the opportunity to show a little more on the inside, like you said, I know you've mentioned it before, that'd be really cool. But there are people that, like, for instance, I think you mentioned before, maybe partners getting the new heroes like a day or two before to show off some gameplay, which we've done like the hero showcases, but
not necessarily the same though.
Yeah, because like that's a controlled environment, but if we were given the heroes kind of to show in like actual games, like customs or whatever, then
you know, that's actually interesting. Like, because you know, the way that they had it before is season pass holders got the hero a week early, right? So what if they did, and now the issue is oftentimes these heroes can be very unbalanced towards the beginning of the release. You know what I mean? So I can definitely see people be like, oh, that's unfair. That just means partners are gonna get easy wins.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You know, leave it in the comments. We'll read the comments in a bit. But it honestly wouldn't be a bad idea to let the actual partners showcase the characters, post up gameplay before the character gets released. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's private controlled matches behind the scenes, and let's say we take turns with the partners being the character, right? Like, have a control, even if it's just a controlled environment, but being able to provide that footage and have it ready for either a day or two before release or the day of release. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, just like push out some idea of what you're going to be looking at, sort of.
Yeah, like partners should have videos about the new hero, gameplay, strategies, build guides, etc. within the first, like, the week before the character comes out. A good lead up to the character. You get me? There's no reason why a partner gets all the footage and information and everything the same day as everybody else, and now we're scrimmaging to make videos and everything. I'm like, what's the point of being a partner?
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, I mean, like, for you, like, you're really good at tutorials and kind of kit breakdowns and stuff like that. So for you especially to be able to give people that tutorial, preferably before the hero comes out, would be
I would love that to be a week out early. Like, hey, you don't get to play this character, but here's the kit, here's what you need to know, here's some gameplay of these abilities in action, blah blah blah. But that would all be very, very good information to have ahead of time. The best I've had so far was when we did the Richter showcase, and we did 5v5 Richters, which was a shit show. That was awesome. When we did the 5v5 Richters, I just happened to be recording. Yeah. And then I put that up as a video the day before the character got released. And that's about as good as I've gotten. But even then, I can't get too much, you know, video footage to be able to use in a normal video in a 5v5 Richter match where everybody's getting pulled every 2 seconds. It's like, hey, let me show you how to yeet. Like, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not actual, like, gameplay that people are going to be doing, like, in a match. So they're not learning any strategies or builds or anything. It's just kind of an ARM nonsense thing. But
now, for those of you watching, Strange Matter Studios does host a partner meeting, very, you know, here and there. Now, as everybody knows, I am not afraid to just speak up whenever it comes to stuff. And I literally, in the partner meeting, I'm like, okay, so I ask questions like, when are partners actually gonna start being used? You get me? Are we gonna get content ahead of time? Like, can we actually get some stuff going? Because I'm I brought up different facts. Like, I'm like, yo, like, I understand taking a break from a game. I completely get it. It's very easy to get burnt out. If you played a game for 6 to 8 hours a day for 6 months straight, I'm okay with you taking a break for a week or two. You know what I mean? But my thing is, like, I brought it up. I'm like, hey, like, low key, I'm a strong believer in, even if you're taking a break, that doesn't mean you have to stop creating content. You get me? Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, for example, this is fall content right here, whether it be giving feedback, going over patch updates and stuff like that. We're creating fall content. That doesn't mean I had to play the game today in order to be able to give this content. Follow? Yeah, for sure. Like, there's still ways to be influential. There's still ways to positively influence the community and help the community grow. You don't necessarily have to be live streaming the game every single day. Not everybody has that luxury. Some people can only stream 1 or 2 days a week, and they can still be a partner because they're great content creators. Feel me? But at least some, like, I brought it up. I'm like, hey, I want at least some sort of content out of these partners if they're going to be partners. Like, a partner that hasn't created a single piece of content in 3 months, a single piece, not a video, not streaming it for a few hours, for like 2 hours, nothing in 3 months. In my eyes, why is he still called a partner?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, there's a difference between like a break and kind of like you've kind of dropped the game completely, sort of thing. And you don't need, you're right, you don't need to play the game to make content about it. Even if it's an opinion, like you do your opinions about like why I've taken a break from Fault. Like, it's still content. You're still updating people about Fault. You might not be playing
feedback
it,
on it, etc.
Yeah, giving reasons, like constructive criticism and stuff, is still content. So,
which, by the way, we're starting Nikki's YouTube channel. Did you actually make one? Hold on.
I did.
Okay, bet.
Like half an hour ago, so 0 subscribers.
Nah, I will post a link down below. Let's get those numbers up on that one.
I was stitching together a video today, so it's in the works. Just kind of
so new video in less than a week. I like it.
Oh, don't put a schedule on me.
Less than a week. Timelines. Let's go. No. You know I'm down to help you.
I feel like I'm a manager now.
Like bro, look, low key, yo. That's another thing about me. Like, it might not be that clear looking at it from like the viewer's point of view, but I am very like, hey, let's get shit done type of personality.
Yeah, you are.
Like Nikki's found out. Like, I'm like, yo, like, hey, video? Okay, bet. What day are we getting together? What time? 9 p.m. Can you do 8? Like, I'm like, yo, let's go. Like, I'm also in charge of like the Bronze Army. You like, not in charge, but I help with the Bronze Army YouTube. And I tell Sneaky, I'm like, yo, hey, we need 1 video a week. What are we doing? What's the next video? Send it to me. We got to get this shit going. Get the consistency, etc. So, you know me, I'm down to help for whichever. It don't matter.
Someone has to light a fire, you know?
Yeah, low key. I don't mind being that person. But besides Nikki's YouTube, which y'all should go follow and subscribe to and everything, I'll put it down below. I am very excited for what I know is coming, but I am very worried for what I know it's coming. Because we already knew new map is in the horizon, new heads-up display is in the horizon. They've already teased different items in the past that they're working on. You know, I have videos on those and stuff. They've already mentioned different aesthetics, different things that they want to implement. And again, I'm excited for the changes. I'm excited for the future because I'm a creature of change. Like, I can't just do the same damn thing every day. I get so stagnant. I get so bored. It drives me crazy. But I'm very worried because this, for a lot of these people within these companies, and you know, speaking of Strange Matter Studios specifically, it's their first time creating a game. It's their first time managing marketing. It's their first time, you know, with content creation schedules, Trello maps, etc. So it's a big learning curve, and I do feel like the first 6 months since early access were huge in their learning curve and everything, and I'm very proud of what I saw from them, even though things weren't perfect by any means, and there's a lot of room for improvement. But I'm also very worried as for the direction that they're taking with things. For example, hey, we're going to slow down production on content, focus on the game. But then a week and a half later, after we told you that, I'm gonna give you a new teaser about a skin that we're working on.
That's true.
I'm like, what?
Contradiction, I guess.
Yeah, like I'm like that's what I'm saying. Like, in my mind, I'm like, didn't you just tell me you weren't working on this shit? But now you
What's
are.
that?
Yeah, right. Like, I'm like, what? Like, and that's my thing. Like, I would advise them that, you know, specifically from the marketing side, but also just from like the community interaction side, be very, very cautious, because it's very good to leak things and to show things that's coming up and things that you're working on. Very encouraged, but like being very, very careful and having past statements in mind, because that's something that kind of threw a curveball at me. And personally, being a partner, being a whatever, I'm still a gamer. I'm still an average person also. To me, personally, that gives me warning signs. Whenever I see people say, hey, we're not focusing on cosmetics and stuff like that. We're focusing on what really matters.
Yeah.
By the way, here's a skin we got somebody working on. And whether it be separate departments or whether it be somebody that's within the same, right? Let's say for benefit of the doubt, it's a separate department. Somebody totally separate created this, not involved with everything that they're working on. Then you shouldn't have told me you weren't working on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like back when they announced that they are not, like they have no plans to release new heroes until they focus on the game, blah, blah, blah. I think that they were a little bit too candid about it, because once you start saying like you're not going to be, once you start saying you're not going to be releasing new heroes, new skins, all that, we're just working on the game, so content's going to be slower. I know like they're trying to be transparent, but I think it was kind of the wrong move, because like you said, they are working on new skins, so they didn't need to say that they weren't. They didn't need to tell us that they aren't. I don't think you should be telling people that you aren't working on something. I think you should be telling people what you are working on. But
I think they were trying to prove how serious they are about completing the game and getting it to a finished product. But I definitely think that these two posts right now kind of backfiring at each other. So it's like, so wait, so are you focusing on content? Does that mean you're not focusing on getting the game to a ready state? Or are you getting the game to a ready state, but you got a separate guy doing content? Like, these are things that if you're gonna come out and say shit like that, that little fine line, because here, like in the thing, they say Dev Team has been hard at work on everything mentioned in our past posts, etc. Our team has been pumping out some amazing content we can't wait to show you. Here's a small look at one of these creations to hit fall in the near future. Now, again, I'm perfectly okay. They're saying, hey, the art team did this. I'm sure the art team's working on a lot of shit right now besides just this, right? Whether it be avatars, etc. But my thing is, again, like we mentioned, why almost pump the brakes on the content with a public post saying, hey, we're gonna cool it down. Now I understand, you know, if you want to be nitpicky, cooling it down, taking a break from it doesn't mean stop, which I'm okay with. But now, does this mean, since we're seeing content come out, does that mean the game is basically ready to the point that they wanted it to be released? Because that is a way to interpret it. You get what I'm saying? They said we're gonna cool down on the content and the heroes and stuff until we get to the game to a point where we want. Would it honestly be maybe by the end of March? Or maybe by the beginning of April? Who knows? Or anywhere, you know, sooner or later, like just in a shorter time frame? Could it honestly be that the game is getting ready and closer to where they want it to be, and now they're showing the content because they're more comfortable and they're there already? So is that a little hint from them saying, hey, we're close?
yeah, so I think them releasing all those heroes, like since the game was launched, kind of really slowed down like the production of the game. So now that they're only focused on the game, I think that their progress in the last like 2 months is probably more than it's been since Vault released, actually, because they don't have to worry about balancing new heroes or releasing new heroes or marketing things or new maps like the Halloween map or the winter map and stuff like that. They're just focused on the game. So I'm sure that like the progress is 10 times what it was, but we don't know yet, I guess.
I mean, that's a good point, because I'm pretty sure they found out that when they add shit, there's a whole wave of fixing shit that gets added. So it's not, it's not just a pretty, hey, we're gonna consistently progress and add. They found out it's like, hey, we promised you guys 2 heroes every 2 months. We didn't realize that we were gonna spend a whole month just fixing shit.
Yeah.
And when we thought something was fixed, now that caused something else to get buggy. nature of game development. But maybe now they're gonna, maybe they've just been progressing like crazy. Because realistically, if they were taking one step forward, or let's say like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, they were still going forward, but at a very, very slow pace, right? Now, maybe for the past 3 months, they've just been consistently taking 2 steps forward.
I think so, yeah. I think
Entirely
maybe that's
possible.
why they're so quiet, because they're probably so close to having a finished product that they don't want to leak things that aren't finished. They just want to get it out there. But I mean, I guess we'll see, because we should be getting that update soon. So they could.
Yeah.
I'm
You know
excited
what?
for the death recap. That's going to be helpful for new players for sure.
That's gonna be lit. Like honestly, even experienced players, like you know how many times all of us have been like, "What the fuck killed me there?"
What was that?
It's like no fucking way. I literally went 0 to 100. Swear to God,
Yeah.
like I was okay, and now I'm dead. I don't understand what the fuck happened.
If I see, like, okay, I'm fine. Oh, Bellica shows up and I died. Okay, I need some energy armor or something, or I need to watch out for Bellica, you know, what's going on. It's just, like, more information for players
You know
to
what?
absorb.
Something worth pointing out. Kind of more along the lines of maybe it means that they're really close and ready. You ever notice how in the past they don't release patch notes until it's like the day of them releasing the patch, or like the day before?
Yeah.
So they keep on mentioning that they like the next thing that they're going to mention is the patch notes, right?
Hmm.
So does that mean that the patch is right around the corner?
I hope so.
Because
There's a lot of things I'd like to see in this patch, to be honest.
yeah, because they've never, here's the thing, they've never really been, and as much as I've begged for them in the past to be like, hey, can we at least get those patch notes a few days ahead of time? Like, holy shit, bro, you're like, patch notes 2 p.m, patch update 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's literally
No
what they've
time.
been doing the entire fucking time. So does this mean that this patch is around the corner? If they're doing weekly updates, right? Or weekly update on the update. And if they're mentioning that we're gonna provide full details about all the major changes or on the patch note as soon as we reach our final testing stages. Now, I think it's around the corner. And here's my thing, because you know, being on the tester side and the partner side of things as well, like I know where everything is at. I don't know how long it may take, because it is honestly some of those things that imagine you're working on building a car and out of nowhere you drive the car, you're like, this it's working, yeah, this bitch just broke down. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that the testing process is a lot of up, down, up, down, up, down until some stability is established. But by them saying here that soon, like, because they say it's as soon as we reach our final testing stages. So as soon as we reach our final testing stage, reach, not complete. Let's be mindful of the terminology there. So that inclines to me that they're going to release the patch notes a bit before the patch actually gets released.
I think they should.
Which they should, 100%.
Yeah.
But if you, with any of the patches, anything ever, if it starts reaching, there's several different testing stages, right? And if it reaches the final testing stages, and like really, hold on, let me backtrack here. So to tell you, Nikki, from the beginning of it, imagine there's like 4 or 5 stages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each one can take anywhere from a few days to several weeks. But if you're already in testing, that means a lot of this is already done and it's just being refined. You feel me?
Yeah, I get that. Like, it's kind of like you can see the light at the end of the tunnel there.
Yeah.
If
I still don't like that I'm not getting a time frame. I know they hate them probably at this point because they're probably scarred by time frames. because of past history.
But yeah.
But like, even if they told me, hey, May 23rd, you feel me? And that's a safe date. And then they're like, you know what? Surprise, guys! April 15th, updates coming. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wish they at least gave me something.
It comes back to like the actual team not being fully dedicated time-wise to the game, because they have their own careers and lives, and this is sort of a part-time situation for them. So if their situation is changing, then they can't have deadlines or stuff like that, because they don't know, you know, if they're going to be given more workload at their actual careers or jobs, then they can't push out fault content in this timeline that they promised the community. So I mean, I think it just comes down to the team just being small and working part-time on it for the most part.
True. Now, I think it's important to say that there are some people that are full-time and that there are some that are part-time also. But I really, you know what? Like, I actually checked on the About Us on their page while we've been talking this entire time. And I don't see anywhere this is our team. This is our staff.
I thought I saw something like that. Or there was an update when they were hiring people. They kind of gave a little blurb about all the new hires that they did.
Yeah, they give shout outs on the new hires, but there's nothing official. Like, and I feel like that could possibly be some feedback on the website. Having an actual, hey, this is the staff. And then on there you could say full-time programmer. You know, like as far as the title that you put next to their name and picture or whatever, full-time programmer, part-time web designer, full-time. You get what I'm saying?
Bad idea.
So people can actually go in there and be like, hey, the person working on the art is part-time, or the person working on the art is full-time. That's why we see this. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be actually very good. But let's do this. Let's wrap it up. We're getting about that hour point. Thank you everybody for watching. Please go subscribe to this girl on YouTube and on Twitch. Follow her.
I don't have anything on there yet.
We'll work on it.
But there will be.
We'll work on it. But go follow her on Twitch, subscribe on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, all that shebang. I'll put the links down below. Appreciate you being here, Nikki. And honestly, man,
thank you for inviting me.
For sure. Now, as far as Strange Matter goes, don't scare me. Strange Matters, please don't scare me with this whole back and forth. Hey, we're slowing down content, we're giving like, transparency is good, but a little bit too much talking sometimes incriminates you, man. That's how people go to jail. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You got to be wise about what you say. But till next time.